but definitely, and also prevent breast cancer in the first place, and how protective it actually is. When I talk about soy, most people, they raise their lip. The first word that usually comes out is ooh, and understandably, because how it's prepared in our country, to me it's been like white, limp, tasteless, almost jello. It's horrible. It's really horrible. So I totally get it, right? Back in 2011, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and my sister 3 years before that was diagnosed with breast cancer too. We were athletes, we were healthy, had no idea where the heck this came from. And in my treatment, I had lots of complications. I went through lots of different types of surgeries. I went through things that doctors said, only 2% of you will go through that, and I ended up getting it. So it was a bad experience, a year and a half, honestly, hell. And healing and everything, probably closer to 2 years. But at home, I had a 12 and a 15-year-old. Life had to go on for them. They were athletes, and I had to figure out a way to not only get my health together, but also to figure out, okay, I want to do something that is going to perhaps mitigate my reoccurrence risk. Do something that will stop or reduce anything that I could do, the chances of getting cancer back again. So what I did, I literally dove into the research, right? I read everything that I possibly could. One of the books that I dove into is Dr. Christy Funk's book. It's called Breasts, and it was literally like my breast Bible. It was amazing. So I studied this. She's got tons of studies in here, so we were talking the same language. She became literally my new BFF. I don't think she knows that yet, but I absolutely adore her. Check her out on Instagram if you all are interested in learning more, because she's a wealth of information. She's a breast cancer surgeon. She's not a survivor, but she knows everything, the lowdown on breast cancer. Lots of amazing information. So in doing my research, trying to do something, trying to figure out a way, I came upon the studies of soy. She's a big advocate of soy. Now I can see why some of you may be thinking, yeah, soy, but it's my doctors have told me to avoid soy, and foods are there with saying basically avoid soy at all costs. You don't want to have anything with soy in it. I totally understand that. I totally get it. But I think that if you can just hear me out, I'm going to give you some benefits of why we need to give soy a chance. And then, of course, when my family, I've been doing this for a really long time, my family, young and active, and I did not have a husband who cooked anything. So I needed to figure out a way how to make myself healthy. And we also found out in some really cool documentary called The Game Changers. Our kids were athletes and very interested in doing everything holistic that they could to give them an edge on the tennis court. And so they adopted a more plant-forward diet based on this amazing documentary. And Forks Over Knives was in there too, and there were some things that really allowed us to really learn more about the benefits of lifestyle, lifestyle management. And one of the lifestyle management was including tofu, of all things. But they're all different types of soy products, which I'm going to explain. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain the benefits briefly of why we want to give soy a chance. And then I'm going to show you the different types of soy products. And now, of course, my kids love it. They absolutely love tofu. It's not a big deal. I've learned actually how to cook it. And I'm going to give you the basic paste marinade that you can make tofu with. And if you have any questions at all, I am super happy to help you along the way on this journey, because this is super important to me, and I just wanted to make it. It was important enough. I wanted to make it happen. So, first of all, when I was reading the book from Dr. Christy Funk, she is amazing. Check her out. She illustrates 2 different studies. Now, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a health coach and a breast cancer survivor. but everything that I have given to you is going to be from studies that have been proven and shown and published. So this is not my information. This is information that I'm getting from published, respected journals, and of course from my friend Dr. Christy Funk, who also is illustrating published journals. But the first studies she talks about, they were involved 6,200 people. So big study, and over a course of like 9.5 years, and it showed a 29% reduction of overall mortality, and then of course 31% overall breast cancer reduction recurrence risk. That to me was enough. There was another one that involved 5,000 breast cancer survivors they had 3 different categories. The one that had the least soy, no soy, and the most soy. And of course, this is all organic soy, because soy in our country is genetically modified, so we only want to eat organic. But the group with the most soy, consumed the most soy, that's hard to say, the most soy, had the lowest amount of overall mortality, and actually had the lowest recurrence risk by, again, it was like 31%. So we're not talking small numbers of 5 or 10%, we're talking 31%. That alone was enough for me to say, I need to learn to cook tofu, right, in a way. Now, before I get onto the recipe, which I know you guys are probably dying to see, let me explain what soy is and why your doctors were probably like, gotta stay away from it. Like, this is really, really scary. Now, if you guys have any questions, unfortunately, I'm not able to see the questions. So if you have questions, please, and I will get back to you, I promise. So put your questions down, and I will get to them. I will get to them as soon as I can, or feel free to email me. So soy, we think about typical soy as tofu, right? Soy has phytoestrogens in it, and that's maybe why your doctor said, no, we need to stay away from soy, because it has estrogenic properties in it. You're taking medications, you're taking tamoxifen and some aromatase inhibitors after treatment, and even in treatment, where we're trying to reduce estrogen, since the majority of breast cancers in our country are ER positive. So I get that, I understand that, but when the studies show that the doctors may not know the published literature out there, and that's what even Christy challenges them. If your doctor tells you to avoid soy, they don't know the published literature. Her words, not mine. So I am embracing that and understanding a little bit why. But soy has phytoestrogens in it. They have isoflavones, which is a type of phytoestrogen. And the phytoestrogens in our body are much weaker than estrogen in our body. And so actually what it does, it binds, the phytoestrogens in soy bind to the estrogen receptor. And it's kind of like a placeholder a little bit. It takes the place of the stronger estrogenic active property. And so it prevents circulating estrogen in our body. That's why researchers believe that recurrence risk and the overall mortality is actually lower. And it even works with ER negative tumors as well. So the science is there. The research has proven that we don't need to be afraid of organic soy. Actually, just the opposite. We need to be consuming soy. And let me tell you the 4 qualities of what you might want to consider incorporating soy in your diet. Well, the first one is this is just from Trader Joe's. This is the extra firm organic tofu. This has about 14 grams of high quality protein per serving. So that's a lot, and it includes all the amino acids. So it's what they call a complete protein. Number 1, so it's a great source. We're trying to increase protein. You guys saw my protein bowl last week. We're trying to increase protein. That's a great way to do it. And it also is protecting you against recurrence, which is the big thing as a survivor. We don't want to get cancer back. Now, it's not the end of the world. I know a lot of people, who, my sister included, who are doing amazing having recurrence, but we don't have to be so afraid of it, right? The second one is that it is, most of us had to have tests for our heart, right? before we actually went through chemotherapy or radiation. And so what soy does, it promotes heart health by lowering cholesterol. The other thing that soy does is we are also, if you're on a aromatase inhibitor, anybody on a aromatase inhibitor, well, that affects bone density. Aromatase inhibitors, as far as tamoxifen, all affect bone density. Unless you're taking something that counteracts those side effects, soy will actually support bone health. So, like for instance, I have osteoporosis in my family, and I want to do everything that I can to prevent osteoporosis, with the double whammy of having treatment coming in and getting to that age where I'm literally humped over. My grandmother was like that. My mom was really like that, and I do not want to be like that. I want to have a healthy spine and hip, and that's what soy really helps do. The last property that I'm going to talk about that soy does, it's antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. So when inflammation rises in our body, it's really conducive to the invitation for cancer cells to thrive. And unfortunately, with the standard American diet today, we are getting way too much inflammatory foods with ultra-processed foods, and also just a lot of meat, just not enough of color on our plate. And soy actually helps with that as well. It's not colorful, but it is very beneficial. Okay, so those are the 4 things that I hope that kind of get you in that neutral zone of why we need to be really thinking neutrally about soy now, and maybe even wanting to give it a chance. Here are the different types of soy, and this is the extra, lots of different types of tofu. You may go through that and think, oh my gosh, like what kind do I usually buy? Well, I usually buy the super firm tofu from Trader Joe's. Great price point for all the benefits it has. It is a killer as far as budget-friendly protein options, and you can make amazing dinners with this stuff. And I'll show you in a second. The other type of tofu is a silken tofu. Now, this silken tofu is soft. It's more silkeny. I've made pancakes with this. I've made salad dressings with this. I've made mousses for special occasions, chocolate mousse pies with this, and you cannot taste the soy at all. It's just a blank canvas, and it soaks up whatever it is, whatever flavoring you're going to put into it. Miso. So miso is an amazing fermented soy, and this goes into lots of different things: salad dressings, anything, marinades. You use a little bit, goes a long way because it's very concentrated, but it's absolutely delicious. Another fermented soy is tempeh. So again, this is a Trader Joe's product. Tons of protein in here as well. It's even boosting the fermentation. It's great for our gut health. And I do have a couple recipes. You cook this a little bit differently than you do with the tofu I'm going to show you today. But it can make excellent mock sausage that I put in stuffings for Thanksgiving with fennel seeds and other flavorings, poultry seasoning, and it has the texture, a lot of texture of meat. Really, really good stuff. Another newer product that I have, soy curls. Soy curls are great I put them in chicken noodle soup, and I'm not kidding you, they taste just like chicken, the texture. You have to soak them, they're dry, so they absorb the liquid, so they make like a really good pulled chicken, barbecue chicken, again in soups where you want something that's like moist chicken. This is a really amazing product, and I just literally found out about this a couple years ago. So happy to have that here. This is a kind of a funny story. So my daughter was with me last week, and she's back at school now, but she loves edamame. She has probably, I don't know, a cup of edamame a day. She has eaten all my edamame. Edamame looks a lot like this. These are peas. I can't lie to you. These are peas, but edamame looks just like this. It looks maybe more like a baby lima bean, but you can find them in the freezer section, and just make sure that it is organic. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and cook. We're going to go ahead and put the recipe together here. for this paste, which is absolutely to die for. Here are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need, don't let this scare you, this is called nutritional yeast. In the plant-based world, this has a very cheesy taste. It's also high in vitamin B, B vitamins, and it's amazing, amazing taste and texture. And it's actually very important ingredient to this paste. And you can get it at Amazon. Here are the different spices. I'm going to add them as we go, so I'll tell you about. So the first ingredient that we're going to add for this paste is tamari. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of tamari here. Okay, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of, I cook with avocado oil. It has a high melting point, but it's also, we want to avoid seed oils or any type of canola oils, vegetable oils. 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. And then 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. It just smells cheesy, delicious. It's so good. All right, now we're going to add the spices, and we have here a teaspoon of each. So a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of onion powder, oops, that's okay. This is a paste that you guys can make it yours too. It's super customizable. It's going to taste good. One thing that you want to do is preheat the oven to 350 while you're doing this. A teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a teaspoon, we're not going to put the chili powder in since we have the cumin, and then a teaspoon of the garlic powder. That's the base right here. So this is the base of, these are the base ingredients for this paste. Well, let me show you what this paste looks like. So you can kind of see here. Okay. This is the paste. It is super customizable. You can put sriracha in here. You can put liquid smoke in here. You can put really any kind of smoky seasoning depending on you want. But this is the base paste with these spices and the 3 ingredients of nutritional yeast, avocado oil, and tamari. All right, now let me show you how you want to do 2 ways you can do tofu. This block of tofu. Tofu has a lot of moisture in it. You don't have to press it for this recipe. So I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm actually, for the first one, we're going to shred it. So we're going to take the cheese grater and we're just going to shred this down here. This is called shredded tofu. This was on TikTok about 2 years ago. It went viral. I mean, it is amazing. I've made this in burritos. I mean, it is a all-round meat substitute that's actually super healthy for you. It only has 1 gram of saturated fat, so we're really reducing the fat. And here is the shredded tofu. The other one that we're going to do is we're going to just take this and we're just going to crumble it. We're going to use our hands. This is got to get in there with your hands. Your kids can even help you with this if their hands are clean. And we're literally just going to crumble this thing. So we're going to take it, and there'll be a lot of moisture. That's okay, but we're just going to crumble it. It'll look like cottage cheese. That's kind of the idea. So I'm doing this. Normally I would do 1 block of all shredded and 1 block of crumbled, but for the sake of showing you the different techniques on how to do this, that's it. So you're going to take the paste here, and we're going to just divide the paste in half since we have 2 different kinds, and see how it's definitely thick. So a lot of thick paste here. Okay, and again, we're going to use our hands. My dogs are right with me. We're going to use our hands, and we're going to get underneath it to incorporate the paste into the tofu. So we want the tofu is pretty bland. So you really want to make sure that the paste covers all of the tofu. And it'll look like a light brown color. Hold on here, taster. All right, so we're getting all the tofu covered evenly. Okay. This is what it looks like. Now, we're gonna put this in the oven for, depending on your oven strength, between 15 and 20 minutes. Mine is 17 minutes in there, baking at 350. Okay, let me wipe my hands off here. All right, so I've already made some to show you, and I do have a taster here. Now, what we can do with this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. It literally looks like ground meat, right? Ground turkey. You want to really even it out. And what we can do with this, you can put this in marinara sauce. You can put this in salsa for burritos. You can put this in chili. It is a very highly functional meat substitute, but remember, we're getting 14 grams of protein in here and super, super healthy meat. Now, I have the ultimate taste tester with me. He's gonna taste, this is my family member, this is my husband, and he's gonna give you the lowdown on how it actually tastes. I mean, truly.
Delicious. It's actually one of my favorite plant-based meals, because when you go from eating traditional foods to plant-based foods, you don't think you're going to get the satisfaction, because most people think of tofu as wet and soggy and no good. But when you add all these amazing ingredients, she baked this earlier today and the house smelled incredible.
It did.
So this is one of the things that I crave when we move to a plant-based diet, and it is delicious. It is so good, plain, or as she said, in any variety of foods like spaghetti or sandwiches. It's
chili,
amazing.
burritos, quesadillas has been kind of our craze lately. Yes, we have. And this was a guy that actually loves pepperoni pizza, hamburgers. We're not going to go on cheese, because cheese is a whole other subject. But as far as the meat goes, to have a satisfying meat, I promise you this is not going to disappoint. If you want to try this, if you have any questions about this, let me know. It is just super healthy and
delicious.
It passes the test, right?
Yeah, and if you have people that think they don't like tofu and you make this, they'll say this can't be tofu because it's that delicious. Great
exactly. All right, thank you. So again, this is a recipe that literally went viral on TikTok about a couple years ago, and I have made it into my own. I've added some certain things to it over the years, but I've served this to my meat-loving friends at dinner parties. Had a lot of people and I don't really like to tell them like what they're eating, because I don't want to scare them. So they just come, and even one, I won't mention his name, but he is an avid meat eater, friend of ours, said, "What in the world do you have in that chili? It is so, so good." And I said, "You won't believe this, but it doesn't have meat." So share this, you guys. This is amazing, and I would recommend, if you guys want to prevent breast cancer. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, honestly. Just try tofu. Just try it. I've shown you how to do it. I promise you it will not disappoint. It's super easy to do. You can whip it up. It's budget friendly. You can stock it up. You can actually even freeze it. There's lots of different things that you can do with it, but it will not disappoint. It is a super versatile. I want to get the word out there that this is good for you. It's super healthy. We want to put meat on the shelf for a little bit. Try it for a Meatless Monday. Let me know. And for those of you who are interested in finding out more how you can reduce recurrence risk, I'm hosting an amazing workshop that'll be about an hour long, 60 minutes, that you'll learn a lot of different things on how to reduce your recurrence risk in their proven ways. Actually, the workshop is June 24th. It's a Wednesday at 11. And so I'm really excited to host that. I want to help as many survivors as I can out there, and also women like me who had no idea how to prevent this thing. I don't want this thing coming back. And even if you know friends that have had a recurrence, it's never too late. It's always important to help them. So if you know of a breast cancer survivor or someone who's really interested that may have breast cancer run in their family, give them this recipe, give them information. Their knowledge is power, and I promise you that if the more that we know, that we can reduce, we do have power, a lot more than we know. We can reduce our environmental influences with our food, with our thoughts, with our movement, all this stuff. It all makes a difference on reducing the risk of breast cancer. And so I'm really excited to spread the word, because I would love for this to become like a movement of taking control of our health, so that their numbers aren't going up, they're going down. And that is really my goal. So anyways, love to you all. I'm excited to share this with you. If you have any questions, please reach out. Share this with somebody who needs it. And I will see you next week. All right, bye guys. Gotta stay away from it. Like, this is really, really scary. Now, any of you guys have any questions? Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the questions. So if you have questions, please, and I will get back to you, I promise. So put your questions down, and I will get to them. I will get to them as soon as I can, or feel free to email me. So soy, we think about typical soy as tofu, right? Soy has phytoestrogens in it, and that's maybe why your doctor said, now we need to stay away from soy, because it has estrogenic properties in it. You're taking medications, you're taking tamoxifen and some aromatase inhibitors after treatment, and even in treatment. Well, we're trying to reduce estrogen, since the majority of breast cancers in our country are ER positive. So I get that, I understand that, but when the studies show that the doctors may not know the published literature,